There's a few key components you need when cleaning. Let's go to the store. We got Windex. I find that is the best for cleaning tools, Ziploc bags for bagging hardware, and gasoline for cleaning all of these parts. Especially being a rod knocked motor, a bearing failured engine, we need to get all of the old oil and contaminants and bearing material out of everything that we're using, which isn't much. All of the internal engine parts that we are using is in this bucket. They're all cleaned up with the gasoline method. Now we have to clean that stuff there. Of course, we're not gonna deal with the heads. I'll have the head shop do that. And then all of this stuff right here needs to be cleaned up. This is all just gonna be degreaser. Of course, minus the turb ski. I don't wanna get that full of water, but everything else, degreaser, pressure washer, compressed air, will be nice and clean and ready for action.
You want Honda yet?
Yes. So, check this shit out. I ordered all these parts for this fucking Subaru build like 2 months ago, or whatever, last time ago. I'm sitting here about to put the bitch together and I know how many fucking rods. So you're right, they're out of stock everywhere. I didn't even know that. I didn't have them. What are the chances I could buy some stock rods from you? All right, we have a little dilemma and it was my mistake. So I ordered in all of the parts for this build actually before I even bought the car. I knew I was gonna buy the car. This car came from Arizona, so on the way down there, I ordered up all the parts for this car. I didn't open up the box from MAP, and I just now opened it. There are no rods. So this was supposed to be a fully built bottom end, meaning manly rods, manly pistons. We're doing all of the Torque Solutions oiling stuff, new crank, new cases, all that good stuff. I just found out now that all of the manly rods are on back order for who knows how long. So we can either just not build this engine for a very long time possibly, or being that I'm not ever gonna make any crazy power on this car, we can just go with some stock rods. I don't have any here. My boy Bader, you already know he has like 1,000 sets of stock rods. So I'm gonna head out to his place, grab some stock rods, and I'm sure those are good for 500, 600 wheel. Actually, I know they are because on Bobby's car, we made 617 on stock rods. That's gonna be plenty for this build. Here's a quick rundown of all the parts. So we got the cases here. We got some used hardware that we're using there, all the gaskets and seals and whatnot, replacement crank, ARP head studs, ACL bearings, new OEM oil cooler, OEM pump, Torque Solutions baffle, Torque Solutions pickup, new OEM pan, head gaskets. Here are some CP pistons I've had laying around that have like 100 miles on them, pretty much brand new. So we're gonna be running those. And like I said, we were supposed to do the manly rods, but that is not happening. So it's gonna be an almost fully built bottom end, which is gonna be plenty.
Or no shit, motherfucker, but there's people that need to fucking hear it now. See what I'm saying? So we all come to a different place in time. So I wouldn't say there's an actual age for that or a time period.
An OEM set of Type RA rods have been acquired. I'm not sure if they're different than a standard STI, but this is what my man's Josh Bader had laying around. So that's what we're gonna be running. You guys already know the process. You already know the drill. Let's get all these bearing clearances measured, make sure they are within spec, and then we can start assembling the bottom end. Tomorrow, the heads are gonna go to the machine shop, but today we should be able to get the bottom end completely together. We are moving right along. So what I did was check the main bearing clearances and the rod bearing clearances. We got that all set, all that's good to go. Went ahead, pulled the cases back apart, cleaned the case halves, cleaned the crank, got the rods installed on the crank, torqued it down to the factory torque spec of 38 foot-pounds. We got the 4 seals into the case half, bearings in. Now we're gonna go ahead and clean just the gasket surface real quick. We're gonna apply the gasket sealer onto this case half, some assembly lube on the main bearings. Go ahead, get the main bearings installed on that case half, drop in the crank, and then we have to let that sealant dry for a bit, and then we can torque it down. Short block is almost complete. We have the pistons to install along with setting the ring end gap. So the process is going to be to set the ring end gap to the cylinders 018 and 020. Then we're going to get the rings mounted up on the manly pistons, get the pistons dropped down into the cylinder walls and attach them to the rods. And then we will have a complete short block. All right, my friends, we have Rodney's short block complete. A couple other things we can still do today. We can get the oil pump on, oil cooler. Here's the baffle, the pickup, and the pan. All just new stuff because, as you guys know, this thing is full of copper from all of the rod bearings that were destroyed. So we're doing some upgraded stuff for the oiling system, and then just OEM cooler and pump and pan. Let's get her done. Also have a few plugs to install, some there, that guy there, a couple plugs on the front end, and we have to wait until tomorrow to get the heads on. Well, here we have it. A complete semi-built EJ257 long short block. Not a long block, short block. A little bit disappointing we couldn't get some nice manly rods in this thing as well. But after talking to Josh when I picked these rods up, these things should be good for anything that we ever want to do with this car. I don't have big plans or big goals with this particular STI. The other STI is a different story, but with this one, I don't really care to make anything over like 400 wheel, 350 wheel. 400 wheel, 500 wheel. I guess we'll see. If you made it to the end of the video, I do have a nice little surprise. I'm gonna sign this old crusty knocked rod out of Rodney, and I'm gonna give it to one of you guys. All you gotta do is go down in the comment section below and comment Rodney along with your Instagram handle so I can get a hold of you. I'm gonna sign this and ship it off to one of you guys. Every part that we installed on this short block, I will link down in the description box below. Remember, if you use my MA Performance link, you'll automatically get 5% off anything that is eligible for a discount on the website, which all of the parts down in the description box below will already automatically have that 5% off, as you guys will see when you go to check out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, my friends. I'll see y'all tomorrow when we get this thing fully built, hopefully in the car, hopefully the first start tomorrow. Goodbye.